And last but not least for this batch, as promised, we are going to take a look at Char's Zaku, the MS-06S Perfect Grade. This is not going to be a full, in-depth, detailed review like I usually do for an unboxing. This is just going to be a very quick, more of a comparison of what's different between this version and the previous version, because we don't need to go into that much detail. If you missed the first version, the MS-06F, there will be a link down below, or I will try and remember to put a title card or whatever into the corner, and maybe even an end card if I can figure out how to do that, which I really need to do, because yeah, I am a bad YouTuber. I am a very, very bad YouTuber. But yeah, as memory serves, there's not a lot different. There's different backpack, slightly different lower legs, and I think that's about it. And the color, obviously. But yeah, let's crack her open and see what we got. And so finally, we have the MS-06S, Char's modified Zaku commander type. Box is basically the same, except in this kind of burgundy brown as opposed to green. Same basic specs. I think the height is registered as a little bit different because I think this includes the commander's antenna, but other than that, it is basically the same specs in terms of weight and etc., besides the generator and thruster output being quite a bit higher. Otherwise, specs are basically the same. Everything else on the box is basically identical. Get out of there. Box is laid out more or less the same way as the other one. In fact, the center box art is very similar, except that in the case of Char's here, all the hatches are closed, whereas on the mass production type, many of them were open. But they're just in kind of a generic hangar bay kind of pose. Not going to go into a lot of detail as to the differences between them. Most of the differences are going to be pretty obvious. It's just the colors. Really, the only differences are going to be on the backs of the legs, the backpack, a couple other minor details here and there. So we'll take a quick look at what we got. First up are the C and D runners. The D runner, identical other than a color change. The C runner is just straight up identical. As far as I can tell, there is no change. The F runner, again, identical to the mass production type. So no change, doesn't appear to be even a difference in the color. The O runner as well, same exact as on the mass production type, right down to the number of bullets and the color. The B1 runner, this is the first one we've got that's different. This is the backpack. It's quite a bit bulkier. I'm going to see if I can find the mass production type backpack in here someplace. Here you can see them both side by side. This is the B1 runner, this is the B2 runner, so they're actually even labeled differently. You can see this one is more angular and more flat surfaces. This one has more kind of curved, bulging panels on the back here with some additional venting. Once again, the I runner is exactly the same as on the mass production type. Same color, same detail, same everything. The M1 runner. This is the panels for the backs of the legs. You can see these have like much larger housings for additional boosters. The boosters on the lower leg for the Char type Zaku are just generally larger and have higher output, so they require these larger housings to accommodate them. There's some additional panel detail on the underside. Other than that, these parts are all the same, just molded in the different color. And you got your Char Aznable pilot figure, which, not super detailed. It's kind of mushy looking. And a bit of flash along the seam edges, so it'll need a bit of cleaning up. The S runner, same exact as with the mass production type, no change. The A runner, molding is exactly the same as on the mass production type, just in the new color. In this case, we'll be using this panel for the head as opposed to the standard type. The G and H runners are both identical to the mass production type. You got the Heat Hawk frame and the rifle. No change in either. The L runner, the lower leg front armor parts, front and sides, no change apart from the color. The W runner, parts for the arms primarily, again, no change whatsoever. The T runner, all of the power conduit beads, again, no difference from this to the standard type besides the color. The E1 runner, now we've got some more differences. These are the lower back halves of the legs and the boosters on the backpack, which are completely new parts. This section here is the same as on the mass production type, but here I've got both runners. You can see there's quite a bit of difference, especially on these bits right here. As well, the backpack boosters are quite a bit larger. In fact, also the booster... No, these are the backpack boosters, these are the boosters on the legs. And they're all quite a bit larger. And just overall, the details are quite a bit different. These ones having some additional detail parts here and there. Overall, it kind of looks like these are just this engine with some new parts like bolted on, like an additional like turbocharger and a larger nozzle kind of a system. As well, this looks like kind of a turbocharger, supercharger kind of a dealie right there. Chrome runner is exactly the same. This is runner R. I will be stripping the chrome off of this because it is terrible. The screws and springs and LEDs and everything from that baggie are all the same except for the sticker set. You've got the same exact springs, you've got the same exact contact points and all the same screws from the mass production type version. So those are unchanged. The sticker set, however, is quite a bit different. About the only thing that they have in common is the pink mono eye. All the other markings, well, okay, the upper corner is pretty similar. Pretty much down as far as here on both sides is pretty similar. And then this one has all of the Xeon markings in white as opposed to in yellow, and then has like Shaw's logo as well as some like different unique markings here and there, as well as pilot's name. The V runner is our system injected runner, same exact, identical as with the mass production type. Clear runner is same as before, no change. K runner also, no change. Not even any difference to the bottom of the feet. I would have thought that Shaw's Zaku would have had larger boosters on the bottom of its feet, but there is no change on this one. Armor parts for the arms, runner U, still same as before, just in different color. I'm not sure if that's the case with this one, but I remember on a previous Shaw Zaku that I've done, the pink, the salmon, I should say, had kind of a swirl to some of the plastic, but I'm not seeing that anywhere in here. Runner N, head frame, upper legs, some joint parts. Yeah, all no change from the last one. And finally, the last two, the polycap set, runner runner P, and then runner J, this is runner J, with the hand frame, some shoulder joints, Heat Hawk frame, etc., etc. No change from the mass production type. So it seems to me that aside from the armor, all of the identical colored stuff is probably just shot in a big batch, just run through at a rate of like twice as much as any of the other armor parts or changed colored parts. Manuals, I got a dog-eared corner. That's a bummer. Same color photo, black and white photo, hatch open. Instruction manual is same as before. You got your kind of technical information for the model kit itself, and then more detailed specs about Shaw specifically. You can see here he's giving his Zaku kind of his custom paint job. You can see it's kind of patchwork. There's still some green and some red, and high gloss indicates to me that like the paint is still wet, so it's very freshly done. You got some details on the differences between the different units. Some different blade antennas for the commander type, and the different types that some of the different Zaku variants would have used. Got your power to weight ratio, thrust curves, details, all of that sort of thing. Stuff, I mean, it would be nice if I could read this, but hey, even if I could, I probably wouldn't. Some more, I don't know what most of this is trying to tell me. And then finally, you've got your paint and marking guide, and then a couple of optional colorways that you can do. I kind of dig this purple. I mean, I love purple, but yeah, I kind of dig the two-tone purple. This burgundy and green, this kind of, not burgundy, but sort of orange and green. I kind of like that as well, but not as much. I like the way they've got the arms in two-tone on both of these. You know, the back panel is the darker purple or the lighter orange, and kind of contrasting with the standard mass production types where the armor is all the same color. I kind of dig that. Back page, you got this kind of glory shot of the Zaku in front of a Musai, ready for battle. Version 1.0, dated 1999. And the construction manual is basically exactly the same as the mass production type, except printed in brown. Construction order is exactly the same. Starts with the head, then the arms, then the legs, then the feet, then the upper torso, lower torso, weapons, and then final assembly. And there actually is not really a final assembly page. That's a little bit weird. I don't know if oh, here we go. Just kind of just a diagram detailing how to assemble the bits and pieces. And then, yeah, grayscale or reddish scale image of the same as on the back of the instruction manual. So that is Shaw's Zaku. So I think it's pretty fair to say that if you were to put the naked frames with no power cables or anything of both of these models next to each other, you could not tell them apart. Like if you were to strip off all boosters and all of the armor, you could not tell one from the other. These frames are ground up identical, right down to the color, right down to every detail. It's just the boosters on the back of the legs, the boosters on the backpack, the commander's fin, and the colorway. Everything else is identical. So yeah, I'm actually a little bit surprised. I figured the frame was going to have like some minor color differences between the two of them, but it seems to me that they probably just shot, you know, the same exact color blend, the same every detail, and just, you know, shot twice as many of the frame parts as they do of the armor parts, because they would, I mean, there's no reason why they shouldn't be identical. It just, I don't know, I feel like for some reason there should be like a slight difference between them. So I don't know, I'm crazy, but I'm excited to get both of these built. I'm eager to have them on my shelf behind me. I'm not sure how I'm going to arrange them, because I'm redoing all of my shelves. I'm putting a new shelf up over there, And then I'm going to have this shelf behind me as, currently it's all Universal Century stuff, but I want it to have purely One-Year War era, because it's getting a bit crowded. I do have a shelf above it that currently has Gundam Seed models on it. I want to move them over there, as well as all my Gundam Wing stuff I want to move over there. But I don't know if I'm going to have room for everything. I do have a shelf up there, but it's pretty crowded with, like, I kind of keep my tools there. So, I don't know what I'm going to do, but I'll think of something. That's it for this batch. I don't think I've got anything else I really want to show off that I've acquired over the last little while. In about a month or so, I'll be doing the unboxing for my Zeta Gundam Perfect Grade, and then about a month after that, I'll be doing the Wing Zero Perfect Grade. With luck, by the time I get that out, then I will have gotten my hands on at least one of the Mark IIs. And in that case, I'm probably not going to do even like this kind of cursory unboxing of both of them, because they are identical besides color. Once I get both of these built, I'll probably do a quick video of the two of them side by side, maybe show off their articulation, posability, maybe do a photo shoot with one of them versus the RX-78 behind me. Not sure. Haven't really decided. Thank you everyone out there for watching, and happy modeling.